Aloha, friends. Welcome to those of you that are new, and welcome back to those of you who have been with me for some time. I truly appreciate you tapping in, tuning in, listening to these messages, allowing Spirit to work through me to channel these messages for you is truly a divine experience. And it really fills my heart and my soul with so much purpose. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, getting right into it today. There has been a lot of sacred rage coming up lately. So they were wanting me to tap in to this reading as a portal through the sacred rage that is purging through the collective right now. Okay, and they tell me two things. They're saying there is a purge that's happening, a lot that is coming up that absolutely is ready to be alchemized, transmuted, shifted back into the light. And there's some fire energy coming through that is it's taking us into the energy of the dark goddess. Now, I have been very connected with Kali, one of the dark goddesses, for a very long time now. And, I kept asking Spirit, what do I need to do to fully step into my power? How do I shift into all that I am so that I can help shift the collective and raise humanity up to a higher level of consciousness? And I feel like I've done so much in the light for others and so much in the shadow for self. And what they're telling me is that they want now that rage to be unleashed, for it to fully come online, embrace my dark goddess powers. And I feel like those of you that are watching are feeling into this as well. There's a lot of sacral energy that is moving. Some sacral activations. I'm hearing upgrades, transmissions. There's a lot happening in the creation space, right? The sacral chakra is the creation space. So there's a lot of energy moving through that space. This reading is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to tap into these Kali cards, see what wanted to come through from the actual oracle book that they came with. And then we're going to go through the cards, and they wanted me to have all of my shamanic instruments out and ready. I feel like there is going to be a big clearing that's going to happen through this reading. So thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and take a moment to tap in, tune in, see which one of those three piles is calling you. Timestamps will be in the description, and we are going to go in order today. So this is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Right. Thank you all again, and I'll see you on the other side. Adios. Welcome back to those of you who chose pile number 1, number 41, Krishna. All right. I'm going to read from the oracle book for this one. And all of the oracle cards are always linked in the description if you ever have any curiosity. All right, it says the name Krishna translates as "you are fire." Agni is the two-headed deity of fire and a potent symbol of supernatural power. On the physical level, fire generates light and heat to cook food, thereby representing both transformation and nourishment of the life force. The inner digestive fires that metabolize food and allow us to gain nutrients represent the inner nourishment of fire and symbolize the soul's need to digest our life experiences for spiritual growth. Fire can create purification for regeneration, such as that seen in a forest after it simultaneously burns away old growth and stimulates new seeds. In that sense, it is also the power of ripening, of bringing something from an idea or potential into fruition and fulfillment of innate purpose. On a spiritual level, fire attracts the soul, helping it find its way through darkness towards warmth and light. The life-enhancing and alchemical properties of fire transform physical materials as well as the subtle body of the soul. The appearance of Krishna in a reading indicates the tremendous potential for personal transformation and spiritual growth. You may feel like you are struggling, and your soul is actually gaining strength. What you desire may seem so far beyond your current reach, yet the oracle indicates your inner potential for tremendous accomplishment. All right, so what I'm getting is that those of you that chose this card, it may feel like you have walked into the fire, right? This sacred rage has been unleashed, and things may be hard right now, and it may feel like it's too much, or you're struggling, or you're not going to make it through. And all I am hearing is keep going, keep moving, keep pushing on through, because on the other side is something, I'm getting emotional. It's something so incredibly abundant that you couldn't even imagine it if you tried. Like, what is coming in for you all? Oh my goodness. These are like tears of joy, and the emotion is it's like a long awaited arrival. So let me collect myself real quick, because there is so much emotion moving through me. All right. Alrighty. Wow, so much going on. The amount of potential that's coming through for you, those of you that chose this pile, is it's infinite. There's no end to it. It's incredibly expansive and open and completely different level. Like, I'm getting ninth dimensional frequencies that you're opening up to. This is powerful. All right, so let's see what comes through, what needs to be purged and shifted to get through this space. And they're also pointing out the deity that's used here. They're bringing to mind the light and the dark. It's like we all have to have an equal balance of light and dark. We need that sacred rage. We need that those lower vibrational feelings to come up and purge and let go. We need that contrast. Once we shift into the higher vibrations and we're cleared of all the karmas of the soul and everything that we've been throughout multiple lifetimes, we're moving into dimensions unknown in Earth realm. So it's expansive. It's incredibly expansive. I can't even there's no grasp. There's like all right, I'm just gonna move on, because it's just, there's so much energy that's coming through for this space. So they're saying right now, if you're feeling a little like Jekyll and Hyde, like one moment you are in a fantastic mood and your life feels great and everything is aligned, and the next moment you're in rage and sadness and deep transformation, Know that it is happening for you. Trust, surrender, and get some breath moving through the body. Lion's breath is going to be really good for those of you that chose this pile. It's a deep breath in through the nose, an aggressive breath out of the mouth with the tongue dropping out, almost like a roar. Move that energy out of you. Also, the drums, sacred drums are coming through. So if you feel like there is energy that is moving through you, or you feel like you are in a space of low vibrations and you're having trouble getting out of it, listen to shamanic music, listen to drums, get a shamanic healing ceremony if they're available in your area, or possibly look into doing a long distance. But there needs to be this sacred fire that comes up and purges through everything. Okay, let's see what else is going to come through for this pile. Do we want? No, okay, we're going to go one by one, they said. So, all right, the first one is behavior and interpretation. All right, so they're saying you're shedding, what you're purging is generations. This is ancestry, y'all. What you're purging is generations of emotion. There is emotion coming through all of the ancestry, and this isn't soul ancestry. This is the ancestry that you were birthed into in this lifetime. There is a lot that is being purged. Now, there's a difference between behavior and interpretation. And they're saying interpretation is the freedom. That's the light. That's the opening up and allowing things to be exactly as they are. And they can be interpreted in so many different ways. If you look at a piece of art, one person might see something completely different than the other. And that's how we should be as individuals. We shouldn't strive to be in this behavioral space where we fit everything and everything is so perfectly aligned that if one thing comes unraveled, it's like this explosion of energy comes out. No, we should be the equal balance of what makes us light and dark. It's finding that flow in between the two so that in times where you need to speak up, use your voice, be a little bit more aggressive and rageful, you can absolutely do that with love. With love, it can come from the heart, and you can give back to those that need to feel that shadow. Sometimes people need to grow through that shadow, and the only way they're going to grow through it is if you give it back to them. Whew, okay. Okay, yes. And they're saying movement, move, dance. Literally, she's dancing on the card here. They're saying dance and get that energy moving through you. It's sacral energy that wants to move. So tap into that sacral space, move the hips, shake the hips. They're showing me like just shaking really, really fast side to side the hips so that it cleanses and purges all of that shit out. All right, what else do we have? Affirmations are going to be beneficial for you moving through this ancestry because there is, there is some darkness coming through this ancestry. So, they're pointing out here the affirmations that here are, I am light, I am love, right? Call in those higher level because some of those shadows, man, they feel dark AF, and it's easy to drop into that victim mentality, that lower level, that feeling sorry for yourself, not feeling like things are moving fast enough or you're getting through it. And the fact is you're so close. This is like the tower moment. Everything is burning around you and it's time to take that jump. Let whatever needs to be stripped from you come out. Whew, yes, let it go, let it go, let it go. It's like you've given, you've given, you've given. And sometimes you have to take to be able to receive. All right, this is all channeled. I am going to go back and watch this afterwards as well and see what comes through for self. But let's keep going. All right, they said now I can go ahead and flip. So let's see. I think these are all going to come. Yeah, lineage. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, these two. I don't know. These two came out together. Okay, let's see where we want to go. This is a lot of energy. Let me see if I can make them a little bit more visible. Okay, yes, there's a lot of shit that's moving through this lineage, y'all. Those of you that chose this pile, oof, I'm hot AF right now. You are the cycle breakers. You are the black sheep. You are the ones that came in to ignite the fire within the lineage, to shift everything out, to fully transform and welcome in new generations. I feel like some of you that chose this card, there's been stagnancy in the moving forward part, and they're telling me there's this energetic pulse that's happening to wake you up again. It's a deeper level of awakening. All right, let's go. Man, there's so much on here. Okay, the Empress in reverse, they're showing me. Okay, let's look at this. So the energy of the fox, clever, wise, but also tricky, and to be in reverse, it's like not knowing what comes next. The wise, the fox has a wisdom to them, and they're telling me it's a little more intuitive than the owl. The owl sees things, right? The owl can see through the dark. The owl can see through the bullshit. The fox actually has can pierce into the soul, can see the soul. Okay, so what they're telling me is that the fox energy that's coming through with that Empress in reverse, it's this rage that can pierce through whatever, it's like whatever it comes in contact with. When you get to this space, there is no stopping you. You are a force to be reckoned with, and you've been in this space. The reason it's coming out in reverse is because they're saying you've been holding back. You've pulled back. You've tapped into the light, the loving, kind, sweet, love and light energy, and they're saying it's time for you to get back into that darkness, get back into that rage, get back into that giving people a taste of their own medicine. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to retaliate against anyone. It's just in the moment when something happens, you let that fire fall back on them. It's like when someone shoots fire at you, instead of shielding yourself and ducking and covering, you flip that energy right back onto them. This is your shit, not mine. I am not taking it on anymore. This is not mine to carry. So everything the image they're giving me is like a warrior, a great warrior standing with shields over their arms, but the shields are these light reflections that are just sending everything back. It's like a pulse that's going back out to those that are wanting to send you negative energy. I feel like this is also a psychological attacks. If you've been feeling like there are things that are coming into your head, or you're doing things that are out of character. Just the other day, I did something that I knew I shouldn't have done. I had talked to my husband about it the night before, and then the day of, I still actually did it. And afterwards, I asked myself, what the fuck? Like, where did that come from? What was that? And what I got was that it's these entities that are coming from people who are still attached to my energy. So these energy vampires that connect to you, that want a piece of you, that love your light, that seek your light, it's time to send whatever they're sending you to drain you of that energy, to pull it from you. Send that shit back. It is not yours. You do not need to carry it. You do not need to continue to work through this lineage the way that you have. You have done so much work already. And they're saying, no, it's time to send that shit back. It's time for them to face their own consequences, to deal with their own karmas, to clear their own shit. It's not for you to carry anymore. Right, we have the eagle coming out, and it's saying rise above. Yes, the eagle's eye view, seeing it from an outsider perspective. It's like that zoom out process that I use. Those of you who have followed me for a while know I use that quite often. The zooming out, seeing it from a bigger picture. In the moment, you might be feeling something come in, or you might be feeling like you want to do something out of character. For me, when I was feeling through this years ago, I was doing things that were out of character for self. I had gone plant-based at the time. I was doing everything to heal my body from the alcoholism, and I was in such a high vibration, and I would have these moments where something would shift my mind, and all I wanted to do for an entire week was eat fast food and binge on alcohol. And I had to constantly be pushing those energies off of me because they weren't mine. I knew that for self, that I was done with the alcohol, that I was done with the not taking care of and respecting my body, and I was ready to be in the higher vibrations. And because of that, and when we rise, y'all, they're showing me this energy of, as you lift up, there are these lower vibration, I'm just going to call them entities for now. They're nothing to fear, absolutely nothing to fear, but they can get into your mind. They can get into your mind space where you'll feel like, for me, the one thing that clears my head is going to the ocean, feeling the waves, just the ocean air. Even if I sit in my car near the ocean, feeling the energy coming off of the ocean has always cleansed my soul. And there were times where I would drive to the ocean, and before I got there, I would turn around and drive back home. And I couldn't figure out why this was happening. And it was because of these energies that were attached to me. They want to keep me, those energy vampires that keep coming at you, they want to keep you in the lower vibration. They want you just high enough that they can feed off of your light, and just low enough that they can still attach to you. Because here's the thing, as you rise up, as you get into a higher vibrational light, they cannot attach to you anymore. Your light becomes too bright, and it's too, there's a piercing energy. They're showing me like it's almost painful for them to even come close to you because the light is so bright. So continue to rise, continue to move through it. Call in your affirmations. I am light. I am love. I am light. I am light is the best. I am strength, right? I am power. I am power. That is a huge one, because those of you who chose this pile, there is power in the rage. There is power in the darkness. There is power in the shadow. And it's not your light that you've been afraid to step into, or it's not your light that you haven't wanted to shine bright and show through. It's that darkness, because that darkness is also piercing. That darkness will cut deep into someone and pull out all of their own shit that they need to face. And so you know, you've seen this, you've witnessed it throughout time and space. And you've gotten to a place where you felt like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to let my wrath out. I'm going to tame myself. And they're saying, no, let it out. Let it out. It needs to come out. That's part of what makes you you. That's part of what makes you such a reliable ally. For those that come into your life, they know absolutely without a doubt that you have their back, that you will be there for them. You will go into the shadow with them. You will love them more sometimes than they even love themselves. And they know this. And so it's for you to continue to rise. And look at this. They're like, look at that card. Oh my goodness. I didn't even notice this. Look at this. It's like she's sending all of that shit back. These are all the other spaces and places that are taking the energy. And these are the lines that are coming in. And she's like, nope, take that shit back. Take it out. It's not mine to carry anymore. It's not mine to work through, to witness, to be a part of. Yes, I've done enough work in this lineage that I can consciously rise above it and let the fuck go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Okay, what is coming? They keep pointing out this card, so I'm going to pull it up and see if we can look at it a little closer. They're pointing out like this honeycomb energy in this space, and then the coverage over like the third eye and the crown space. So they're saying, for those of you that chose this card, it's so important for you to cover your crown, right? Maybe that means surrounding your crown with a pyramid of white light. Maybe it means wearing an actual crown or hat or something that's going to send those vibrations back. Because here's the thing, once they get in your head, it becomes yours. You start feeling and processing through the shit that's not yours. And so you've got to protect your head. If you want to move through this, and believe me, I've been in this space, so I know, those of you that chose this pile, I know what it feels like. They're saying if you want to move through this, you absolutely can, and do it with the darkness, the rage, the fire. Let it burn within you and reflect back to those that are trying to take from you. Okay, they're pointing out this card, so let's see what we have here. Yeah, there's an energy. It's the same energy as this Krishna, like this sacred union with self, right? Connecting so deeply with self, with the shadow and the light. They are both one. You are in your wholeness when you embrace your shadow and let your light shine. It comes from the shadow, though. Look, everything from what I've experienced, all of the highs and the happiness and the joys, it all started in the shadow, in the purge, in the letting go, in the reconnecting, in the like letting it move through you, and then rising to these higher vibrations, connecting with the light. So go into that darkness, embrace that shadow, send all of that energy back, return to sender. It's not for you. Even here, it's like she's returning it with love. She's letting it go. She's saying, here, take it back, right? There's a surrender that's happening through this, the surrender into your highest self, knowing that you will absolutely get through this darkness. Okay, the teacher. So I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of that crystal, but it's a lovely crystal. Lots of deep purples, blues, oranges, and reds, sacral energy, crown energy, throat, right? The teacher, it's connecting. They're telling me it's staying, protecting your headspace, protecting the crown, protecting the mind, and then channeling through the creation space, creating something that they're telling me it's being birthed through you. It's being birthed through you. There's something new that's coming online, and it's being birthed through you. So open up, expand. They're showing me like some hip expanders, like really move into the hips and the sacral area. All right, anything I missed, Spirit, before we wrap this up? No, they're just saying, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn, let it all go, and send that energy back. It's not yours to carry anymore. Woof. Alrighty, I'm sending you all so much love. Until next time, adios. Welcome back to those of you who chose pile number 2, number 32, Kalaratri. Kalaratri. Okay, and they're showing me the new moon there, and this like secretness of it, almost like hiding self. Okay, I'm going to actually read from the Oracle book for this one. All right, it says, for those who have been coerced to deny their intuition and authentic experience, Kalaratri breaks through the, quote, crazy making and brings us into the truth of what is happening. She brings the relief of truth even when it is difficult to bear. She breaks open toxic systems and reveals deceptive behaviors. In unmasking the terror of what has happened or is still happening, we become able to disconnect from sources of abuse so we can begin to heal the trauma. That which is not acknowledged can never heal, but is doomed to be repeated. The acknowledgement of Kalaratri is not an intellectual understanding, but a bone-deep agony of release. It is like pulling the thorn out of the lion's paw. It hurts, but it is the way that leads to healing, rather than the hurt that would come from trying to ignore the thorn and dealing with increasingly negative consequences. All right, so those of you that chose this card, I feel like there is some dark night of the soul energy that's coming through. It is finding yourself in the darkness. And finding yourself in the darkness means everything that everyone else has put on you or tried to make you be, you are crawling out of that space right now. And that's what they mean by the thorn, right? The thorn in the lion's paw. It's like, get all of that shit out. Everything that everyone has seen you as, they're telling me like the figuratives of their imaginations. They're reminding me of a time when I was really young, like early 20s. Really young, that's funny. Anyhow, early 20s, and what came through, there was a rumor that spread in my family about me, and it went through the entire family, y'all. I'm talking my great uncles, my aunts, my cousins. It finally made its way back to my grandfather of all people, and then from my grandfather through my grandmother to my mother, and then on to me. And the amount of energy that had built up from all of these people talking badly about me was immaculate. There was so much of it. And you know what hurt me the most in that moment is not one of those people had the courage or the strength or the fucking balls to reach out to me and ask if I was okay. If they really thought that I was growing through this, whatever rumors that they were talking about, how could not one person reach out and say, hey, are you doing all right? Do you need anything? Can I help you with anything? Not one of them. Instead, this just continued to be a dirty, nasty rumor that followed throughout all of these different people. And I'm talking like massive amounts of people. This family that I'm speaking of is huge. And so by the time it made it back to me, it was so loaded and dropped on me that I was in shock, complete shock. And I just had to like reverse it and send all that energy back to them. And I had to pull that shit out, right? Because they put that on me. And for years after that, of course, people are going to believe whatever they want to believe, whatever their level of perception is and wherever they're at on their journey. And instead of me letting it go and forgiving them for being at a lower level of consciousness, and bringing whatever lesson it was that I needed to learn through this. Instead of thank you, Spirit, the lesson is not caring what other people think. Allow them to think whatever they want about you, right? What other people think about me is none of my business. That's finally the lesson that I learned through it. It was, what you think about me is none of my business. And so I feel like those of you that chose this card, this is exactly that. There are people who have spoken about you or towards you, and it's like this abundance of affirmations and spells, right? Words are spells. Words are spelling. The lowest level of black magic is in the words. It's in speaking something through. I had a client once who had a toe fungus, and when we tapped into the toe fungus to see where it was coming from, it was coming from her sister 30 years prior that said, I just can't stand that she's perfect at everything. I wish she would just get a toe fungus. And it manifested, y'all. This is the lowest form of black magic. This is where it comes from. But the power in words and shifting and reversing that energy, you have the power to do that. Black magic is not powerful. It is not powerful. Now, it can happen very easily, yes, by spoken word. Sometimes people don't even know that they're doing it. I doubt her sisters really thought that she was going to get a toe fungus, right? And once you're aware of it, you can absolutely send that shit back to the sender. Transmute, alchemize it. Say that you tap into it. Learn the lesson. What lesson is this teaching me? It's teaching me that, you know what? I don't care if everybody else thinks that I'm this or I'm that. Let them feel whatever they want and keep their energy to them. Send that energy back. You do not need it. Oof. All right. This is a big opening. Let's see what else wants to come through for those of you that chose this pile. All right. We're going to start with shadow and light. They said bring them out together. All right, action and reaction, fear and anxiety. All right, these are some of the energies that have been shifted on you. These are the energies that give me a better word, Spirit, please. They're telling me have attached to you. Thank you. So they're saying it's the reactionary energy, right? The reacting to what other people think of you, right? When there's no reaction, typically that energy goes away. Black magic, dark magic, all of the lower vibrational magic, or whatever you want to call it, spells that come through, they cannot do anything without your permission. So when you start attaching to that, and I'll tell you for self, when I was growing through this and all of the family was talking about me and spreading rumors and saying whatever they were going to say, I was completely attached to, at the time, what my sister thought of me. And I was trying, I wanted to be less than what I was. I wanted to pull back. I wanted to not be the one that was always quote unquote perfect or had good grades, or I wanted to pull back from that energy because I felt the jealousy and the envy and the rage coming from my sister. And they're saying I reacted to it, right? I was in that energy of reaction. I was, instead of taking action to cut ties, right? If all these people are talking about you, if they're sending you this bad energy, if they're speaking down on your name, right? They don't need to be in your life. They don't need to be a part of your journey and what's happening. You can let that go. You don't have to carry it. You can start with action. You can start by shifting yourself out of that vibration. You can start by setting boundaries, by letting people know, if you're going to be this way with me, I don't need you in my life, right? instead of continuing on and letting it grow and grow and grow. And they're showing like this energy that just needs to be released from this pile. I'm gonna do a quick little clearing. Good little clearing there. Oh my goodness, the energy that shifted. Woof. All right, we sent some of that energy back. And then the fear and the anxiety, right? If you've been feeling a lot of heightened energy in your heart, you've been feeling like you can't take a deep breath, like you can't relax, like you're having heart palpitations, things coming up, that energy that's moving through the heart space, or a heaviness. They're even showing me like a heaviness in the heart space, like something is weighing down on the heart and you feel this pressure on the chest. This is the rage that has been like they're showing me just like these arrows coming at you. They said, look at the card. Okay, let's look at it and see. So I guess like this would be like the arrows coming in is what I'm seeing here. All right, and they're saying there's thank you, because you wouldn't break. You wouldn't break. You stood strong. You stood up against people. You defended yourself. You tried to make people see you in a better light. You tried to shift what people were thinking of you. You tried to do everything right so that nobody had anything bad to say about you. And they're saying that's where that anxiety is coming from, because you're overworking yourself. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Funash katamana futukumanach kanana tikana. Arafutamanakas katakutumana yana futamanaki's beginning. Arafutamanakas katukumana katanana tikana. Arafutamanakas katutumanakas Yes, the energy I'm getting is defensiveness. Like you've had to defend yourself against what other people have thought of you or said to you or affirmed for you. And they're saying, let it go. You no longer need to defend yourself. That's not in the vibration that you're moving up to. So it's like these energies are holding on to these lower vibrational how do I say this, spirit? They're telling me the lower self, like your lower self. They're holding on to your lower self. So maybe like in my experience where, you know, my past self, I call it my most recent past life where I was an alcoholic. Maybe people still see me in that light. And you know what? It's okay, because I'm rising above it. I'm no longer attached to what people think. I don't give a shit what anyone says about me, what they think about me, because I'm stronger than that. I'm standing in my light, and I no longer need to defend who I am. I can step out of fear and call in fearlessness. I can be in my sovereignty and be who I need to be and how I need to be and where I need to be, and not give any energy or care towards those that are speaking bad about me, that are wanting to still keep me in a lower vibration. Eventually it's gonna trickle out. They're showing me like it'll eventually dissolve. There's nothing that, as long as they can't attach to anything anymore, right? If we're not giving it power, if we give it power and we react to it, we're giving it more power to come back at us. It's a vicious cycle that goes around and around. When you detach yourself from it, when you say, what you think of me is none of my business. I am who I am today because of my experiences, because of the journey I've been through, because of the shadows that I've walked through and embraced. And I'm proud of who I am, and I love myself. There's absolutely nothing that they can do to continue to pull on your energy or dim your light or pull you into these lower vibrational spaces. All right, we're going to open up the rest here and see what else wants to come through. All right, we're going to start with this Scolecite. Scolecite is a powerful clearer. It will purify the energy in the room. It purifies against electromagnetic frequencies, so EMF. It can purify your space. We actually keep, my husband and I keep a large piece of Scolecite by our bed, so while we're resting, while we're in the astral space, the Scolecite can be constantly clearing any shit that that attaches to us or wants to come out with us. So perhaps look into some Scolecite and the purity energy. You can screenshot that if you'd like. But Scolecite is going to come through, and there's a deep cleanse they're telling me right now, right? Like even they're showing me the bushfire here, that fire energy of coming in and cleansing everything that was and allowing new things to come online, new spaces and places and creations and love I'm hearing. And y'all, those of you that chose this card, you are so protected. But there's an energy they're telling me. So they're pointing out this card, the slow down, right? And actually, it's interesting. They're reminding me of this image. I know it's not the same thing, but this image reminds me of the movie Raya and the Last Dragon, and how she's working through to shift for humanity. I literally in that movie. So if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. It's on my husband's recommend list. But they're saying slow down, pull back, because sometimes you have your fire can get out of hand. Your fire, your rage, it needs to be tamed a little bit. They're saying that sacred rage that's moving through you, it's okay to be in that space. Actually, it's great for you. And there needs to be a container, they're telling me. Not that, okay, I want to clarify this, Spirit, because I don't want to tell the collective that they need to contain themselves. I don't feel that that's true. So can you put it in a way that we can clearly understand this? They're just saying care for the fire within you, because sometimes you stop caring for it, and when you stop caring for it, that's when you get stuck in these cycles, because you throw that fire back, but what you're sending back is not only what they sent you, it's a whole lot more. It's like you're gathering the fire from all of the people that are sending you all of the shit, and then you're sending all of that back to one person as opposed to the entire collective that's sending you this. And that's when the fire gets out of hand, and it can harm you, because it can pull you out of relationships that are actually good for you. It can pull you into a space where you feel all alone, where you feel like you have a hard time connecting with others. So instead of it's okay to send that fire back to the sender. If people are talking down on you, if people are bringing that fire energy, sending that the wrath energy towards you, absolutely send that shit back to them. However, send it back, return to sender, right? If this is a father wound, send it back to your father. If this is a mother wound, send it back to your mother. If this is a creation wound, a space, a place, send it back to that space. And instead of sending it back to those that are close to you, right? Instead of pushing everyone out and retreating and going into hermit mode and hiding from what was. Now they're bringing through this sacred sexuality. This is where they want me to go next. This sacred sexuality, reconnecting with source through your divine sexuality. Through the sacral center is the point of creation. I feel like most people feel that if you open up your crown and your higher level chakras, that's where the connection to source, to creator comes in. From my experience, that is not true. The closest I've ever felt to creator was when my sacral chakra was fully activated and passionate. Now, this can happen through orgasm. This can happen through sweat release. They're telling me, they're showing me like hip circles moving through there's this sacred sexuality that's coming through. So it's tapping into your sensual side, tapping into that space of creation that needs some love, right? That needs some intimacy. Now, maybe you're not in a relationship right now and intimacy is hard for you, and it doesn't need to be like a sexual intimacy to start off with if you don't have that in your life right now. And they're telling me it can absolutely be a sexual intimacy with self. So maybe look into some tantra, look into meditations around sexuality or sex in general. There are meditations out there like that. Believe me, I've tapped into this space. I know. There is a company called Chakrubs that creates beautiful, I'm just going to put it like this, beautiful pieces of crystal that you can tap into and use. Check them out. That's for the ladies. And let that energy out. There needs to be like they're showing me like this like thrusting energy through the sacral space to get that energy moving so that it doesn't consume you, because when it consumes you, you get into this space, into this place where the shadow is so large that you may not know how to get out of it, that you start to embody some of those energies that are there, the manipulation energy, the forcing things to happen, the arrogance, the cruelty, the wrath that is not sacred rage. This is just rage, just flat out lower dimensional fire. That's like, they're showing me like fireballs that are being like flicked and thrown back. Whew. Okay, what else do we have here? What am I missing, Spirit? Unappreciated. Yes, that's part of where this disconnect and off balance of the sacral space is coming through. It's that you feel they're telling me not unappreciated. It's like, you know, in your heart that you are very much appreciated, but you're feeling underappreciated. Like you would want some more recognition. And I'll tell you from my own experience, I sought recognition outside of myself for so long. I just wanted other people to approve of me, to love me, to see me the way that I saw myself. And then Spirit came to me and said, well, why don't you do that for you? How can you expect others to do that for you if you're not doing it for self? If you're not speaking affirmations to self, if you're not moving your body and sweating and getting that energy out, if you're not nourishing your body with healthy foods, supplements, whatever it is, if you're not doing all of these things for self, how can you expect anyone else to come in and appreciate you for what you've done. That appreciation needs to start within. Okay, and they're showing me the raccoon. So they said don't mind the tarot that is on there. It's the raccoon energy. Raccoons are tricksters. There's a, they're sneaky. They get into shit. They will like tip your trash can over, and the energy of a raccoon is they don't give a fuck. Like, they will do it right in front of you. They typically do not run away. They are not scared. They are in that energy of staying and fighting and being in that fierce. Now you embody this fiercelessness. Like, you embody this this energy, and they're just saying, tone it back. It's like you get to this point where things build up and build up and build up, and then this, like, they're showing me like shattered glass. It's like everything falls apart and it feels very dark and dense and lonely. All right, and then what else? Spirit, we have the intuition card. They're saying that there's nothing I need to say. That's actually just been giving you an activation for those of you who have been watching and checking out these cards as they've been sitting here. And then some of you might be Leo. You might be in that divine, like, Leo priestess type energy, that fire energy. And that's why this is all coming up right now, because are we in Leo season yet? I think we're almost there, or maybe we even are. My apologies, I've been a little off on my time lately. So anything else that wants to come through for this pile? Nope. Alrighty, I'm sending you all so much love. Until next time, adios. Welcome back to those of you who chose Moksha of Kali, number 39. You have this beautiful flower here. All right, I am going to read from the book for this one. It says, the Moksha of Kali teaches us that our suffering is no source for shame, but rather a badge of spiritual honor, acknowledging that we are deep on the soul's healing pathway. However, that doesn't mean that the more we suffer, the more spiritual we become, and the more spiritual we become, the more we have to suffer. It means our capacity to process our suffering increases, and in that increase, we experience more sunshine through the cloud moments of peace, liberation, and higher understanding. Rather than a way of life, periods or suffering become like toxins our body, mind, and soul need to process and release. Perhaps akin to digesting a meal, but on a multi-level scale. The oracle brings the message of relief and realization. There is much you will accomplish through your own efforts, and much more that can be accomplished if you include regular prayers for assistance from the divine as part of your lifestyle. If you have been working hard on an issue and wondering if it will ever give way to an improved set of circumstances, the oracle indicates that yes, a time of freedom from this difficulty is on its way. All right, so what I'm hearing with that is that you have taken on all of the energy that's coming through. So those of you that are highly sensitive and are clearing for the collective right now, there's a lot of shit that's rising. There's a lot that's coming through that space. So they're saying you don't need to take that on. You don't need to clear that yourself. Send it into the light. Send it to source. Ask, pray, meditate, whatever you need to do. Ask those higher vibrational beings to come in and help. Y'all, the angels have been coming in so strong lately. They really want to connect with those. Dragons have been coming in for those of you that are connected with dragons. So call on these higher vibrational beings. They're there to assist us. Now, they won't come through. I've tried this. I've said, I'm open. Whenever I need your help, come through. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way because we have free will. We can shift and change our minds at any time. So our guides are not going to automatically come in anytime that we need them. They need to be called. We need to usher them in. We need to ask for their assistance. And I will tell you, every time you ask, they will absolutely be there for you. They will come through and clear through whatever it is that you're growing through. So they're saying if there's something that you've been holding on to, something that you've been trying to work through and process through yourself, let it go to a higher power. Let these higher vibrational beings come in and help shift you through it, and or connect with the creator, right? Let go and let God. Maybe some of you chose that message that came through a few weeks ago on my channel, let go and let God. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend going back and watching it, because that's what they're saying. Let it go. It's not yours to carry. You don't have to hold on to it all. You can have and call for assistance from a higher power. Whew. Alrighty, let's see what else wants to come through for y'all. We'll start with the love and light. All right, energy and motivation. Okay, so they're telling me that you're going back and forth between this space of feeling super creative, getting things done, moving forward. It's like you're on that path, perhaps even writing. Maybe you're a writer and you're writing a book, or you're wanting to like get the words out, share your wisdom, that kind of thing. And it feels like it's coming in waves, because it's so strong at times, and you're moving and you're creating and things are coming through and it feels great. And then there's this energy of like lack of motivation, not feeling like doing anything, tapping out, maybe numbing, scrolling, not wanting to connect. It's like this complete opposite. So they're saying you're just learning how to ride through these waves, how to let go of anything that's not yours, and how to use the energy when it's available to you, right? So when you get those moments where you feel like you are super creative, don't let them pass you by. Tap into it and stay in that energy as long as needed, so you can start to create the things that you want in your life. Okay, I'm going to flip all of them here. We're going to see what else wants to come through. And then we will tap in and see what the messages are. Okay. All right, lots of reverse cards they're showing me with this one. Okay, I want this here and this here. All right, so the first thing that came through is this energy of purification, this waterfall energy moving through. And look, you have two cards that came with purification, the clear quartz and the waterfall. So big energies. You are clearing and purging and shifting through anything that you no longer need to carry. It's like you've held on to it for this long, and it's time to just fully let go. There's this connection, this disconnect, they're telling me, with Mother Earth. That's why this card is in reverse. It's like you maybe have wanted to get outside. You feel like you need to get outside, like you need to connect with Earth. And every time you do, something shifts and you end up right back inside, or you end up right back behind a screen. And they're saying to push through it. There's a deep, deep cleanse and purification. Oh my goodness, I am feeling this for y'all. It is coming through the solar plexus and the sacral, and it's fiery. Whew. All right, moving up into the heart. Yes, there is so much energy in the center space. So through the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, there is a purification that's coming through to move through you. They're showing me this fire, like it is ready to, it's just like burn anything up that's not in your highest and best interest. Now, speaking of your highest and best interest, the magic card came out in reverse, and what that tells me is that there is some dark magic going on around you. There may be now the lowest level of dark magic, black magic, is affirmations. It's people speaking untruths, or people talking down on your name, or even self. They're telling me even self. Are you speaking to yourself well, or are you beating yourself up? Right? Do you, like, there are moments, they're reminding me of, there are moments where I would do something and I'm like, oh, I'm so stupid. And I would absolutely call that in. Or I would say, I'm sorry for everything. And that's an affirmation. So I had to learn how to tap out of that and how to talk to myself. And what they taught me was, talk to yourself like you would a 4-year-old, right? Like you would a toddler. If a toddler spilled something on the floor, hopefully you wouldn't scream at them and tell them they're stupid and they need to figure their shit out and whatever you tell yourself, right? Hopefully you would say, it's okay, we can work through this, let's clean this up and move on. They're saying, be gentle. Your inner child definitely needs some love. Those of you that chose this pile, there's a deep cleansing and purification that's happening with the inner child. Whew. So the Hanged Man energy, they're showing this is a possum, yes? A possum that's coming through on the Hanged Man. And this energy is like laying low, kind of just in this in-between space, allowing things to just be whatever. It's like there's no motivation or energy. It's not just being in the present, it's being surrounded by all of these things that have been created to you or for you throughout time and space. So they're saying there needs to be like a purge. You see how she's like avoiding these what are they called? Why can't I think of them? Jellyfish. Thank you. Like the jellyfish, the shock, right? She's pulled in and kind of pulling away from them, and they don't look aggressive. They don't look like they're going towards her. They're just moving around her. These are the energies that are shifting around you. Oof. Okay, we're gonna do a clearing. Thank you, Spirit. So all right, go ahead and close down your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. I'm just going to start to open up and clear through this space to help this purification move along. All right, so open up to this transformation. There is good news coming in. The energy of the raven is the messenger. There's good news coming in. It's like, I feel like those of you that chose this pile, it's been a long time coming, and you are starting to fill in a space where it felt like it was never going to happen. And maybe even into the space where you were ready to give up and let go, and that's exactly what they want. They said, let go and let God, right? It's not yours to carry. You've been carrying it for so long. So be in that space of surrender. Be receptive to higher vibrational energies coming in and helping you out. You don't need to carry this yourself, right? The energy, this is your energy. This is how radiant and bright and beautiful and like they're telling me celebratory, interesting, like how your energy is just this complex stream of light, and they're showing me like the threading that's moving through here, like these little threads that are creating the sacred geometry around her. This is your energy, and you don't need to carry all of this shit anymore. Allow yourself to let go to a higher power. Allow that higher source energy to come in and cleanse you. Get out in the sun. Take in some sun codes. When I've done this, I've gone out in the sun or even out into Mother Earth and, put my feet in some grass and just cried and said, take it. Take everything that is no longer in line with my highest vibrational interest. Take everything that I'm ready to let go of. Please, Mama Earth, Father Sky, purify me. Help me let this shit go. I don't want to carry. I cancel clear that. Don't, because the universe doesn't know negatives. I free myself from carrying these dense energies of the collective. I allow the higher vibrational beings to come in and support me on this journey. I allow myself to move freely through this space and to send any black magic, affirmed negativity that is coming at me, send it back to source. Let it be transmuted and alkalized into the light. Whew. All right, the last thing they're pointing out for me here is that some of you are, the majority of you that are listening to this are warriors. You are doing a lot of work in the astral. There is, when you're going into the astral space, you are cleansing and clearing for the collective beyond this planet, beyond Earth realm. You are cleansing for other spaces as well. So they're saying, be mindful of what you're bringing through. When you rise up, when you finally, maybe some of you, it may be hard for you to fully rise up or to get out of bed in the AM. You're like, drowsy or unmotivated, or just don't want to like get up and keep going. It may even feel like a little bit of depression. And they're saying, move through that. Get up, snap your fingers, clap your hands, play an instrument, put some frequency music on. Actually, you don't even have to put frequency music on. Put fun, playful, joyful music on that makes you dance and sing and shift that energy, because it's you don't have to carry it. You don't need to carry it when you come out of the astral. It's the same thing here. It's like you take on so much and then it becomes completely overwhelming and you're having a hard time getting through it. And that's where these deep cleanse and purifications are coming through. So allow yourself to shift through that energy. Maybe look into some different instruments. I have a little bell that I'll ding, to clear the energy, or maybe a sound bowl. And like I said, maybe just playing music. I love 90s music. I'll play 90s music and dance my ass off. Maybe it's getting out and breathing in fresh air, opening up some windows, allowing the air to move through your space. They're saying there needs to be some action on your part to start clearing and moving this if you want to get through it sooner. Now you have free will. If you enjoy it, if you want to sit in that shadow for a while, by all means, that is your prerogative. However, if you are wanting to move through it faster, if you're wanting to get through it, make sure that you're cleansing when you come out of the astral. I actually just today I used some copal incense and took that around the house. Once we rose up out of the astral, I played some shamanic music, just really got the energy moving, open up some windows, allow some sunlight to come in, some fresh air to move through. And then I have a great friend that just She tells me like when she wakes up, she claps her hands and like gets the energy moving for the day. So whatever works for you, and I cannot stress this enough, let go and let God. Now, if you don't connect with God, if you don't connect with a higher being, connect with whatever works for you. Maybe it's the dark goddess, right? For the longest time for me, it was Kali. I was in so much darkness that destruction really came and helped clear things out for me. So call on whatever it is that works for you that's going to help you shift through it. All right, anything else that wants to come through for this pile? I just thought 1818, so maybe that's relevant for some of you. All right, I feel like that is all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, adios.